Hey, 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 hey. This is Jaconda. So, this is my book, Conversations with Myself. This is Behind the Pen. So, one of the poems that I want to talk about is called Our Love. I wrote it 12/28/2022, right before, you know, the new year. And I just wanted to talk about how you know, love changes a little bit. It's not the same as it was when you first get started, but it's not as different as it might sound. I mean, depending on when you fell in love with your significant other, it could be like puppy love. When you first start out, it's always just you and them, and you get butterflies every time you see them, and you just can't talk about it. That's all you do is you just talk, 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 talk. Like it was in elementary school. That's all you did. And then how it moves from that to, let's say, teenagery, where it's oh my God, I can't believe I'm with such and such. And oh my God, he's my world. She's my world. What do I do? And, you're just being you. You're figuring out a different way to navigate through, what love is. You're actually just really learning it. It's like on the job training. You know what I mean? But then when you get a little bit older and you find your person, um, it changes because it's not just the butterfly feelings. It's not just the, oh my God, I can't wait to see them. It's the days with no makeup and they still look at you the same way they did the first time they met you. It's the, I've had an argument with this person, but I still want to talk to them because when I argue with them, I still find it funny. Or it's a nuance in how you do things. It's the type of thing that it changes. It doesn't necessarily stay the way you think it is. Love changes as you get older. I'm 40 now, and the way I felt in my 30s about my husband is a little different than the way I feel in my 40s. Um, and it's interesting to say it like that because um, we've had to go through a lot in the um, almost 11 years that we've been together, and we've been married 10. A lot has changed from what it was when we first got together to what it is now being married. I mean, um, going from not having a kid to having a kid, going from not living alone to living with a group of people to living, with your own family. Um, One of my favorite lines, you know, um, in this poem, Our Love, is our love is like a dirty dish, hard and greasy when it gets cloudy, but comes out fresh and clear when the cycle ends. That's one of my favorite lines in the entire poem because it's like sometimes it's gritty. Sometimes you have those arguments. Sometimes you'll look at your significant other and they make you so mad you just want to spit nails. But then that's the same person that you look at and you be like, I would rather go through um what I'm going through with you than with anybody else. One of the songs I was listening to the day that I wrote this is a song by Luther Vandross. And the song that I was listening to, the one of the lines in the song is, I'd rather have hard times with you than good times with someone else. Um, you know, I'd rather be in a storm with you than safe and warm by myself. So that's what I was really looking at when I started writing this poem. It's like, who do I want to be with when times get rough? Who do I want to like share that with? Who do I want to share my happiest moments with? For me, it's my husband. It's the the uncertainty of everything, but it's also the fact of knowing that I love. When I wrote it, it was one of the easiest poems that I wrote, but it was also one of the hardest because I had to look at love from what it was from my perspective and not everything I've ever been told. Trust me, I'm a diehard Disney Channel loving, romantic movie watching girl. I mean, the interesting thing is one of my favorite movies. I watch it every time it comes on. It's Father of the Bride, the one with Steve, the one with Steve Martin. That's the one that I really like. Every time it comes on, I watch it. And what's interesting about it is that for me, from my perspective, what I see in it is you see two different types of love happening in that movie. You see the older couple, which is Steve Martin and Diane Keaton, and how they'd been married for a long time. And then you see what his daughter in the movie is just learning about. She's like 22 years old and she's getting married, and this is her first big love. And you see that there's a bit of a difference because with young love, it's we all over each other. There's nothing that anybody can say to me. One of my favorite scenes in that movie is her dad is saying, "Hey, sweetheart, you're gonna need a coat when you go out." And she's like, "No, Dad, I'm okay." But the moment her fiance says the same exact thing, "Hey, sweetheart, you need to get a coat." "Oh, really? It's cold out there? Okay, I'll put it on." Your shift changes with love. And then the part that I like, getting back to like I said, the older couple, when you get to Diane Keaton and Steve Martin, you see that they're a little bit older, a little bit more seasoned in how they see love, how they love on each other. She knows that he is a neurotic mess. And instead of getting mad at it, she embraces it and she says, okay, she knows that that's him. And it made me think of my husband. My husband is probably the funniest person I know. Like, I know that he is the one that will crack a joke with the quickness. When it gets serious and when it gets a little hard, he's the first person to crack a joke. And I'm like so serious when I get mad. Like, I will say things that will truly and utterly get you to a point where you're going to get mad at me. I have a tongue as swift as a sword. But what I love about it is that we're so opposite from each other that we're almost the same. When I looked at Father of the Bride, there's a scene in the bar where he's talking to his soon-to-be son-in-law, and he makes this realization like, oh, wow, my son-in-law is almost like, me, and my daughter is almost like, I'm sorry, yeah, my daughter is like my wife. We secretly, we find love. In many ways, we don't want to admit that we try to find our parents, but at the same exact time, we kind of do. We kind of do. Because I can honestly say that in a lot of ways, I think I was more like my mom when it came to how I felt about things. I'm very outspoken. I'm the one that'll say what I'm thinking. But at the same exact time, when I'm in love, I love hard. So when I wrote Our Love, I just wanted to say, well, this is how we are. This is what we are. But at the same exact time, nothing is better than what we have. And I wouldn't trade that for anything else. So if you're looking for this poem and any other poem, my book is on Amazon. You can get it in Kindle. You can get it as paperback, or you can get it in good old hardback. And if you want to, I got some copies, so you can get it from me as well. But this is the first Behind the Pen. I hope that you enjoy it and go and check out the book and review it. And this will be the first of many of these videos that you'll be seeing. But Conversations with Myself by Jaconda Jefferson. Go check it out. It's on Amazon. This book, once again, is about reflections of how I see the world, good, bad, and indifferent. And so I just invite you to come check it out, take a look at it, and I really invite you to enjoy the read. Thank you, and until next time, happy reading.